Welcome to Jokes Room, your daily dose of laughter.
It was supposed to be a very quick phone call, the kind you make while doing something else, because you expect it to end before you've really settled into it. I remember holding my phone in one hand and a mug of tea in the other, already halfway convinced that the issue would be resolved before the tea cooled down. The problem itself was small. Something minor on my account didn't look quite right. Nothing alarming, nothing urgent, just one of those things that feels easier to fix immediately rather than ignore. I glanced at the number on the back of the card, took a breath, and dialed. A recorded voice answered almost instantly, cheerful and calm, thanking me for calling customer support and assuring me that my call was important. That felt reassuring. I leaned back in my chair and waited for the menu options, already planning what I would do once the call ended. The voice asked me to select a language, which I did, and then asked me to listen carefully because the options had recently changed. I listened carefully, chose the option that seemed closest to my issue, and waited. Soft music began to play, the kind designed not to offend anyone, but also not to be remembered. After a short while, the music stopped, and a real person came on the line. He introduced himself politely and asked how he could help. I explained the issue in a few sentences, keeping it brief because I assumed he was busy and efficiency was appreciated. There was a pause, followed by the sound of typing. He said he understood and that he would be happy to assist. He asked me to confirm my full name. I did. He asked me to confirm my account number. I did. He asked me to confirm my date of birth. I did. He thanked me and said he just needed to place me on a brief hold while he accessed my account. I agreed, set my phone down, and took a sip of my tea. The music returned, exactly the same as before.
It played long enough for me to finish my tea and consider refilling it, but before I could stand up, the music stopped again. The same voice returned and said thank you for holding. He explained that he could see the issue now, but to proceed, he needed to ask me a few security questions. That seemed reasonable. He asked the first question, which I answered. He asked the second question, which I answered. Then he asked a third question, paused, and said the system wasn't accepting the answer. I was sure it was correct, so I said it again, slower. He said the system still wasn't accepting it. He suggested we try a different security question instead. I agreed. He asked the new question, and I answered. This time, the system accepted it. He sounded relieved, and I felt relieved too. He said we could now move forward. He explained that the issue on my account could be resolved, but it required a small confirmation. I asked what kind of confirmation. He said he needed to transfer me briefly to another department that handled confirmations. He assured me it would only take a moment. Before I could respond, the music returned. I set my phone down again and looked around, still confident this would end soon. The music played, stopped, and a new voice came on the line. This person introduced herself, confirmed that I had been transferred correctly, and asked how she could help. I explained the issue again, slightly more slowly this time, because it felt polite to start from the beginning. She listened, then said she needed to verify my identity. She asked for my full name. I gave it. She asked for my account number. I gave it. She asked for my date of birth. I gave it. She asked me to confirm my address. I did. She thanked me and said she just needed to check something on her system. She placed me on hold. The music returned. At this point, it had started to feel familiar, almost comforting, like a soundtrack to waiting.
When she came back, she said everything looked fine, but she noticed that the original representative hadn't fully documented the issue yet. She said she would need to send me back to him so he could complete that step. Before I could say anything, the line clicked, and the music began again. I sat there, phone in hand, and waited. When the music stopped, the original voice returned. He thanked me for holding and said he saw that I had been transferred back. He apologized for the inconvenience and said he would pick up where we left off. He then asked me to confirm my full name. I paused for a fraction of a second, then gave it. He asked me to confirm my account number. I gave it. He asked me to confirm my date of birth. I gave it. He thanked me and said he just needed to make sure everything matched. He typed for a moment and then said that the confirmation was almost complete, but there was one more step. He needed verbal confirmation that I agreed to proceed. I said that I agreed. He asked me to state my full name again as confirmation. I did. He thanked me and said the system was processing. There was a pause. Then he said the system was asking for additional verification just to be safe. He asked if I could receive a one-time code by text message. I said yes. He said the code would arrive shortly. I waited, watching my phone screen. A message arrived with a code. I read it aloud, he typed it in, and said thank you. He paused, then said the system had timed out and would need the code again. I explained that the code was only sent once. He said that was okay, he would resend it. He did. A new message arrived. I read the new code aloud. He typed it in. He said thank you and told me to hold for just a moment while the system updated. The music returned. At this point, I had moved from my chair to the couch, phone still in hand, posture adjusted to long-term listening. When he came back, he said the update was successful.
He said the issue on my account was now resolved. I thanked him. He then said there was just one final thing. He needed to document the resolution, which required a brief summary of the issue from me, in my own words. I repeated the issue, almost word for word as I had described it at the beginning of the call. He typed as I spoke and said that was perfect. He then asked me to stay on the line for a short survey. I said that was fine. The music returned, softer this time. A recorded voice came on and thanked me for staying on the line. It asked me to rate my experience on a scale from 1 to 5. I pressed a number. It asked me if my issue had been resolved. I pressed a number. It thanked me and said my feedback was appreciated. I waited for the call to end. Instead, another voice came on the line. This person introduced himself and said he was calling to ensure my issue had been fully resolved. I explained, carefully, that I had just finished resolving the issue. He apologized and said he just needed to confirm that everything was satisfactory. He asked me to confirm my full name. I gave it. He asked me to confirm my account number. I gave it. He asked me to confirm my date of birth. I gave it. He thanked me and said everything looked good. He wished me a pleasant day and ended the call. I lowered my phone, looked at the clock, and noticed that the mug I had started with was still on the table, now completely cold.